Vesicle transport notes. Vesicle transport is the movement of large molecules like proteins and carbohydrates, for example, starch, which is a polysaccharide, that cannot transport through the membrane on their own through diffusion or active transport. There are two types of vesicle transport that we're going to be talking about, endocytosis and exocytosis. So endocytosis, right here, is the bulk transport into the cell. For example, white blood cells eating a type of bacteria. When the cell brings in liquid bound in a sac, the process is called pinocytosis. That's movement of liquid across the membrane into a cell. It's the cell drinking. Phagocytosis is the process of engulfing a material like a cell or cell parts or bacteria, as we mentioned above, with the purpose to ingest, destroy, or get information from it. We call that cell eating. The second type of vesicle transport is called exocytosis. This is when the cell releases solid or liquid in sacs. For example, when a cell is removing waste and carbon dioxide from the process of respiration. Here's a picture of endocytosis. So what happens is the material kind of comes towards the end of the membrane right here. And it kind of forms this protrusion. And then you'll see that the cell membrane right here starts to kind of pinch it off. And then eventually it'll pinch it off and it forms this whole entire entity, also known as this vesicle, that just gets released. One way to help you remember endocytosis is endo means enter. Okay, and so this could be considered like the outside of the cell. And this section would be inside the cell. All right, so here's an example of exocytosis. So here we have the vesicle, and it starts to move towards the cell membrane, and then it kind of just starts to fuse with the cell membrane, and eventually kind of separating and releasing, opening it up, opening that vesicle up to release the protein out of it. So again, a way to remember this is exo. Think of that like exit. And so these are exiting out of the cell. Sorry, exo, exit, out of cell. And then this is the outside of the cell. And again, this is a cytoplasm or inside the cell.